It is not good morning, which my remarks say here, but we designed our economic strategy to lower prices. Competitive economy means companies must do all they do to do everything they do. As a result, a pair of hearing aids, it pushes down. So let me say it again. Thank you, Terry. And thank you, Dr. Pepper, and thank you, Chancellor, or Dr. Paper, and thank you, Chancellor. Very willing to let the American public judge my physical and mental as well as my mental fitness. And I've already signed an emergency declaration for Louisiana to make sure we're ready for the surge response capability to deal with whatever comes their way, our way, but it's their way. To deal with whatever comes their way, our way, but it's their way. But if Donald Trump is reelected. But I know still, there's work to do, and that we have and they're going to make this up instead of us going to Exxon, kind of get back out there, and so. Can I say one thing, please? Well, hell, I propose, and I'm going to digress slightly. We're in a situation. The president asked me to head up a cancer moonshot. I ran against Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Donald Trump? Now he doesn't want to talk about Trump anymore. Well, I do. Donald Trump. The word Trump. Why Trump? Trump. That's who Donald Trump is. Donald Trump. To Trump, former President Trump. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. I love this one. Trump. Donald Trump.
What a great honor it must be for you to honor me tonight.
He used to kiss my ass.
White supremacists, Nazi sympathizers, carrying Nazi flags, using the. When the cost of a gallon of gasoline gets to above $3.35 a gallon, Russia and including is not right. You have the significant number of I forget the number. Folks, and so folks, look, the fact is that we need to add, I guess I know you all know it, anyway, but the whole point was that, I'm sorry to go on so long. Thank you. And I'll turn it back to you, man. I guess that's who I'm turning it back to. I don't know who, anyway, whoever. That saves billions of gallons of gasoline. I mean, billions of, $2.3 billion worth of, $500 billion in savings and 2-point-something billion metric tons of CO2 going in the air. Well, folks, eliminate one tax loophole out of $1.6 trillion worth, $1.4 trillion worth. Out of $1.4 billion. It's hard to even say it, it's so much. And by the way, it's cost a lot of money. It cost about $740 billion over 10 years. We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids, black kids.
What?
Asian kids.
Hello. Hi. Wow. This is like some school. How cool is this, right, Miguel? Why couldn't I go to a school like this? I mean, it's just beautiful. I love the mural. I mean, everything is just, I love this school. Anyway, Mayor Bowser and Chancellor Farabee, thank you for joining us as well. And for families across the country.
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure, isolate, and punish China.
True international effort to pressure, isolate, and punish China.
Cleaner air for our children, healthier forests and ecosystems for our planet. The urgent need to diversify so we can not only we don't remain overly reliant to combating deforestation. We're still falling short. The existential threat to human existence as we know it.
Do you speak any English?
Let me be clear. If you're in a state where hurricanes often strike, like Florida or the Gulf Coast or into Texas, a vital part of preparing for hurricane season is to get vaccinated now.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
A vital part of preparing for hurricane season is to get vaccinated now.
You had told us at a town hall, I think it was in July, that this was just near-term inflation. About that, just in terms of inflation, because you had told us at a town hall, I think it was in July. You had told us at a town hall, I think it was in July, that this was just near-term inflation. You had told us at a town hall, I think it was in July, that you had told us at a town hall, I think it was in July, that
They look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
And thanks for joining me. I'm here. The FEMA director is on. FEMA director Criswell, she's on, and I'm here with my senior advisor and I've got now Cedric. Who are we going to next? And is Mayor Cantrell on? Mayor Cantrell, are you on? I don't think she was able to get connected. We're about as prepared as we could be. The only way to spare more pain and more loss, the only way. These millstones no longer mark our national mourning. These milestones, I should say, no longer mark our national mourning.
My grandpa was named Ambrose Finnegan. As kitchen table, I learned a lot of basic lessons.
As kitchen table, I learned.
I used to say, Joey, nobody's better than you, but you're no better than anybody else.
For President Trump and the demagogues around the world, when President Clinton spoke at this first dedication, he ended on a poignant reminder. He said, and I quote, "The road to tyranny, fewer, not more, fewer." I wanted them to see the ability of the human mind to rationalize. Your silence is complicity, not more, fewer.
I am a realist. I was a senator a long time. I know how legislation is done. I know how legislation is done. Where I come from, you don't get far unless you ask. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over. If you like what you see, help out. I took on Putin in terms of Iraq. In terms of what was going on in Ukraine. By strengthening, by investing $100 billion in education, in global warming efforts. It's a whole range of things.
We can't afford it by just eliminating, beginning to treat work, reward work as much as wealth. Another country and annexed a significant portion of it called Crimea. He's saying that it was my boss, it was his fault.
One nominated Democrat, a lifelong Democrat, a proud Democrat, an Obama Democrat. Join us.
An Obama Democrat.
Every other nation you can define by their ethnicity, their geography, their religion, except America. America is born out of an idea. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men and women are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, including life, liberty, etc.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing, etc. Guatemala, El Salvador, and to go in and say in Honduras and say, look. How many times on television see make fun of Biden wearing a mask? Because he refuses.
Because he refuses.
I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. Just startled me. And I tell you what, the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight and then watch the hair come back up again.
Well, it is what it is because he is who he is. That's why it is what it is.
He is who he is.
We're in a situation where we have put together, and you guys did it for our administration, the President Obama's administration before this. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. And, there was, I think that the former senator I heard that familiar voice, you know what I mean, just spoke. Well, he's right about one important thing.
And what makes his wild claims and hopes, he now hopes we don't notice what he said or won't remember. And when he does follow through or doesn't do when follow through, the exact opposite.
20 million people worried about whether they can make next month's mortgage payment.
This is the most consequential, not because I'm running, but because who I'm running against. This is the most consequential election in a long time. And the character of the country, in my view, is literally on the ballot. What kind of country we're going to be. 4 more years of Georgia, he is going to find ourselves in a position where if Trump gets elected, we're going to be in a different world.
You know, remember when he went on, he decided he was going to convince Bob Woodward what a smart guy he was. So he went on, yeah, smart guy. So he went on, yeah, smart guy.
The reason I'm bothering to do this is I keep hearing on the press, Biden's going to raise your taxes. Anybody making less than $400,000 a year will not pay a single penny in taxes.
Cocaine and hookers, my friend.
Right.
And Mayor Pissarro, I want to thank you for being here. We have to make sure that women have the chance to succeed and thrive throughout their careers.
I'm beginning.
The Chinese saying, it says, women hold up half the world. It's an absolutely stupid position not to make sure they represent at least half of what we do.
1973年，参加过中国共产党第10次全国代表大会的代表们还记得，大会闭幕的时候，全体代表起立鼓掌。
We the people. Well, it's time to remember that we the people are the government. You and I. Not some force in a distant capital. Not some powerful force that we have no control over. It's us. It's we the people. COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, has taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives it's just, when you think about it.
What must be what? What must be what? What must be what? What must be what?
What?
A pathway for citizenship.
There needs to be a pathway for citizenship, whether it can be an immigration remains to be seen. What must be what?
That's why I've made it a priority my entire career to work closely with you. From the time I got to the Senate 180 years ago, you know, as well as my tenure as vice president.
He said, I think last night in his town hall, I didn't have the pleasure of hearing it. I was doing one myself. He said, we have turned the corner. My grandfather Finnegan might say, we were here, he said, he's gone around the bend. It's not disappearing. In fact, it's on the rise again. It's getting worse, as predicted. We all know the terrible price this nation has paid.
Throughout our history, if you think about it, public investment in infrastructure has literally transformed America, our attitudes as well as our opportunities. The Transcontinental Railroad, the interstate highways, united two oceans and brought a totally new age of progress to the United States of America. 56% better. And by the way, if you hold for a second, think about this. What are we doing? So what are we doing? But here's the deal. From 1948 after the war to 1977, I think it was 1977, 79. Now, so you got over 50% going to stock buybacks. And the other percent, I think it's 42%. Let me see, 56, it's 40, 120 days. Give me a break. Need time.
In a weekend interview, Vladimir Putin laughed at the suggestion that you had called him a killer. Is that still your belief, sir, that he is a killer? And I'll continue the trend if you don't mind of asking a second question. Do you believe if he does agree to cooperate, then what kind of a challenge do you find yourself in? How would you ever trust him? And if Ronald Reagan said trust but verify, what do you say to Vladimir Putin?
To answer the first question, I'm laughing too.
Okay.
They actually, well, look, I mean, he has made clear that
A few minutes later. Many minutes later.
the answer is, I believe he has in the past essentially acknowledged that he was, there are certain things that he would do or did do.
What?
The second question was, Please be seated. My notes here. Well, good afternoon. If you hear a little noise in the background, it's which I'm going to be doing right after this. And pride is back at the White House. I'm proud to lead the most pro-LGBTQ equality administration in U.S. history. So much talent can be unleashed by embracing the LGBT plus community, Q plus community. The LGBTQ plus community as an LGBT special Q plus special envoy. LGBTQ plus people, including LGBTQ plus folks. Look how it's changing. It's changing in ways that in my generation 270 years ago. If you want to protect yourself, get a double-barrel shotgun. Have the shells, a 12-gauge shotgun. You know, the rapidly rising I don't know.
Mr. President, today you and you've been so generous with your time in these difficult days. You and I are going to write yet another chapter in the beautiful story of the friendship between our two nations, the United States of America and the Jewish and democratic state of Israel. Both of us who seek to do good and need to be strong. Both of us who are a lighthouse in a very, very stormy world. Thank you, Mr. President. I look forward to working with you now and many years forward. Thank you.
Well, thank you, and you give me credit, much of which should go to Barack Obama.
Bruh.
As you observed, I'm a fairly practical guy. I want to get things done. I want to get them done consistent with what we promised the American people. And in order to do that, in a 50-50 Senate, we've got to get to the place where I get 50 votes so that the Vice President of the United States can break the tie, or I get 51 votes without her. And so I'm going to say something outrageous. I have never been particularly poor at calculating how to get things done in the United States Senate. So the best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway, we're going to get a lot done. And if we have to, if there's complete lockdown and chaos as a consequence of the filibuster, then we'll have to go beyond what I'm talking about. Okay, hang on. Sorry. Oh, Ms. Kim.
Thank you, Mr. President. To follow up on the filibuster, so do you believe it should take 60 votes to end a filibuster on legislation or 51?
Fuck her right in the pussy.
7,300 miles of roads here in Michigan. I'll bet everyone in this room can tell me. I'll bet everyone in this room, I'll bet everyone in this room can tell me what the most dangerous intersection in this town or any town they live in and where it is. The third medal we displayed is the Smithsonian Museum.
It is the Smithsonian Museum.
We're going to have to give it to the Smithsonian.
With the families of the Capitol Police Officer Howard Liebengood.
You're very beautiful.
I know.
Why do you smell so good?
Because I don't use deodorant and I only take bubble baths.
If you have a child under the age of 7 years old, you're going to get in your bank account today, you're going to get a payment of 12 months divided, $3,700 for that child divided by 12 every month. 12 months divided, $3,700. More people voted in America than ever in the history of America, in the middle of a once-in-a-century pandemic. All told, more than 150 Americans of every age, of every race, of every background exercised their right to vote. 150 Americans.
I need Obama's number right now.
More than 150 Americans exercised their right to vote.
I need Obama number right now. I know he's not a president, but I know he knows something. I need to know.
Thank you, folks. Whoa, hang on a second. If you want to talk about Iraq, ask me a question about Iraq. Whoa. The neighborhood I lived in, you became a cop, a firefighter, or a priest. I wasn't qualified for any of them, so here I am. There's no wall high enough or ocean wide enough to keep us safe from a vaccine. You know, and it's needless, taking a needless toll on our country. You know, we have roughly 350 million people vaccinated in the United States. And yes, cases are going to go up before they come back down. It's a pandemic of the unvaccinated. I know I've said that constantly, and others have as well. We have roughly 350 million people vaccinated in the United States. 350 million Americans have already been vaccinated.
What?
165 million Americans are now fully vaccinated. There's no wall high enough or ocean wide enough to keep us safe from a vaccine.
To keep us safe from a vaccine.
The vaccination of the unvaccinated.
The vaccination of the unvaccinated.
Be able to deal with in the one that was underway when I took off. Be able to deal with in the one that was underway when I took off.
Beginning to see why your wife left you. Why attack Sanders? Why? You're getting nervous, man.
You ever been to a caucus? No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. You said you were, but now you got to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you.
And I also directed the Pentagon to look at adding COVID-19 to the list of vaccinations that are required for our troops. If you want to do business with the federal government, get your workers vaccinated. But others have declined to step up. There's no wall high enough or ocean wide enough to keep us safe from a vaccine.
To keep us safe from a vaccine.
Places that have offered the $100. That'd be really good. I'd go back and get vaccinated 3 times. I just got vaccinated. We've done everything in our power. Well, I shouldn't say there's probably more. We will do more. But we continue to try to make the case to the American people who haven't taken the vaccine that it's in your interest, can save your life, and can fundamentally impact on the lives of your children or people you love. Now, one of the things that's happening, as bad as things have gotten, the death rate is 1/50th, or don't hold me to the number, but significant lower than when I inherited this job. And we actually went out and bought enough vaccine. There's no wall high enough or ocean wide enough to keep us safe from a vaccine.
To keep us safe from a vaccine.
I just got vaccinated. But others have declined to step up. The death rate is 1/50th, or don't hold me to the number, but significant lower. I just got vaccinated. Significant lower. I just got vaccinated. He doesn't want to shed light. He wants to generate heat, and he's stoking violence in our cities.
Yes, this is the 5th day of the president's overseas tour, and he was seen on camera with his eyes closed. It appears that perhaps he was dozing, and in these settings, cameras are all around, and the camera caught President Biden, who turned 79 later this month, with his eyes closed for a period of time. And you're right, these can be embarrassing situations. You have the contrast of leaders, including President Biden, calling for the urgency of these issues of addressing climate, and a moment like that in a session can be a political obstacle for a moment.
Everybody talks about how, this virus came, the drugs that are designed to kill the virus came along so quickly. Been working on it for 2 decades. There's nothing quick about this. It's been over 2 decades. So people say, I'm not taking a drug that was so approved so quickly. It's been 2 decades. The truth is, we haven't said it enough to people to allay their fears. There's nothing, their fears. It's nothing that just happened yesterday, and they said, well, let's take a shot on this. You got the vaccination?
Yeah.
Are you okay? I mean, you seem, no, it works. Or or the mom and dad, or the neighbor, or when you go to church, or when you're, no, I really mean it. There are trusted interlocutors. Think of the people. If your kid wanted to find out whether or not there's a man on the moon, or whatever, something, or, whether those aliens are here or not, who are the people they talk to beyond the kids who love talking about it? They go to people they respect. And they say, what do you think? And so they should be asking other people, the people, their
everything from their teachers to their ministers to their priests to people that they trust. Just like the other question that's illogical, and I've heard you speak about it because you always, I'm not being solicitous, but you're always straight up about what you're doing. Yeah. And the question is whether or not we should be in a position where you are, why can't the experts say, we know that this virus is in fact, it's going to be, or excuse me, we know why all the drugs approved are not temporarily approved, but permanently approved. Yeah. That's underway too. I expect that to occur quickly.
Well, that means, you mean for the FDA?
For the FDA.
Yeah. So
the Federal Drug Administration.
You said.
Hey folks, how are you? Michael, how you doing? Michael Beals, can you hear me?
Roger that. Affirmative.
Oh, I tell you what. You all think I'm kidding. That's my rabbi. Am I to speak now?
Please.
A guy named Rabin, and she was leaning back. She had going to so we had that but here's I want to say one more thing. I just want you to know that
in our building, we have Mary, who's in the garage there, and then we have Cultivate the City, which is an awesome rooftop garden. They exist on our rooftop, but you're not going to be able to see it from here. But if they want to give a wave,
I see them.
Yeah. And then we also have
Don't jump. We need you.
And then if I could just.
Press, let's go, you guys. Come on, Press. We're gonna move out. Let's go, Press. You guys, let's go. Come on, Press. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Crisis at the border, sir. Let's go, you guys. Come on. Come on, let's go. Thank you, guys.
Catholic Church based on a psalm, and it's a psalm that talks about life, and so I asked if that psalm, that hymn in the Catholic Church, and it says, may he lift you up on eagle's wings and bear you on the breath of dawn and let the light shine upon you, etc., and hold you in the palm of his hand. And they played, and my mind's going blank now. What's the song that is played where everybody is on the chair, everybody, what I can't remember it anyway. And that's the song that was played. So, I don't know what the hell's going on here. My mind's going blank now. What's the song that is played where everybody is on the chair, everybody, what I can't remember it. We're in competition with China and other countries to win the 21st century. We're at a great inflection point in history. We have to do more than just build back better. We have to build back better.
Hey, what's going on down there?
Why are you running? Why are you running?
My name is Joe Biden, and I'm a car guy.
There we go. Reliant Robin.
Ran an agency, and I'm delighted to be here. And I want to say something else up front. I'm standing here because about 180 years ago, when I first got elected to the Senate, Gov, the UAW elected me. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas.
Well, yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas as well. Merry Christmas, and let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree. Hey, by the way, are you in Oregon? Where's your home? I think we lost him.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. It is a good morning. It's a good morning. We're getting prepared to celebrate Independence Day. Today's job news brought us something else to celebrate. This morning we learned that in June, our economy created 850,000 jobs. 850,000 jobs. Wages went up for American workers. Since it took office, our recovery has created an average $600,000. They probably wish those 600,000 jobs paid $600,000 a year. But 600,000 jobs per month. The jobs that are going to be created here. The last time the economy grew at this rate was in 1984, and Ronald Reagan was telling us it's morning in America. Well, it's getting close to afternoon here. The sun is coming out. At the time, the CBO revised their long-run deficit projections down as a share of GDP. Lived in Long Island for 10 years or so. God rest her soul. And although your mom's still alive as your dad passed. God bless her soul.
Will you require all federal employees to get vaccinated?
That's under consideration right now, but if you're not vaccinated, you're not nearly as smart as I thought you were.
Are you concerned that the CDC's new max guidance could sow confusion?
We have a pandemic because of the unvaccinated, and they're sowing enormous confusion. And the more we learn about this virus and the Delta variation, the more we have to be worried and concerned. So get vaccinated. If you haven't, you're not nearly as smart as I said you were. Thank you.
Okay.
I have to seek permission to leave. I have to check, you notice. There's no wall high enough or ocean wide enough to keep us safe from a vaccine. Hey guys, how are you? How you doing?
Let's go, Brandon!
How are you?
I'm excited to see you.
Can you come in your classroom? Hey, Mr. You got to talk to me. You know, when you're they get to ask you all kinds of figure out how you can avoid.
Let's go, Brandon!
Mr. President, I've been at this a long time, and there are things we know that work that reduce gun violence and violent crime, and things that we don't know about. But things we know about, background checks for purchasing a firearm are important. No one needs to have a weapon that can fire over 30, 40, 50, even up to 100 rounds, unless you think the deer are wearing Kevlar vests or something. Those who say the blood of patriots, you know, and all the stuff about how we're going to have to move against the government. Well, the tree of liberty is not water with the blood of patriots. What's happened is that there are never been, if you want to think you need to have weapons to take on the government, you need F-15s and maybe some nuclear weapons.
Let's listen to what we can.
Mr. Biden, the COVID task force said it's safe for students to be in class. Are you going to encourage unions to cooperate more to bring kids back to classroom, sir?
Let's go, move, let's go, out.
I just spoke at Dartmouth on health care at the medical school, or not, I guess I wasn't actually on the campus, but the people from the medical school were at the, I want to be clear, I'm not going nuts. I'm not sure whether it was a medical school or where the hell I spoke, but it was on the campus. It was on the campus, and the dean of all of that.
Where am I? Oh, wait!
Lonnie knows I believe this every fiber of my being. We're posed. What I propose is it can be done. I think we're in a position to really make it happen. And my team and your team are already working closely together to light up the path forward here. Critical laws like the PRO Act to strengthen collective bargaining. On politics like prevailing and look, I guess I'm taking too much time, but you know, I'm especially honored to share the stage with Brittany and Jordan and Nathan and Margaret Catherine. I love those barrettes in her hair, man. I tell you what, look at her. She looks like she's 19 years old, sitting there with her, like a little lady with her legs crossed. Police Chief Murray of the Baltimore, Police Chief Murphy Paul of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and Mayor Daniela.
In the beginning, yeah,
Listen properly.
in the beginning, yeah, in the beginning, in the beginning, in the beginning.
No man has a right to raise a hand to a woman in anger. We have to just change the culture, period, and keep punching at it and punching at it and punching at it. It will be a big, no, I really mean it. And immediately change the law in the state of Delaware protecting transgender people. We have to eliminate the funding gap that exists between minority white and majority white and non-white districts. No, I do not trust the Taliban. Do I trust the Taliban? No. That's different than the Taliban succeeding. The Taliban is not the North Vietnamese army. Taliban, the likelihood there's going to be the Taliban overrunning everything and owning the whole country is highly unlikely. Taliban, it was very clear that a Taliban that had always been a problem was even a more sophisticated problem than they were before. Taliban.
The first Afghani Royal Air Show.
Taliban. Hi, how are you? What's your name? Sam, good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. With more resiliency, more ability to withstand extreme weather that will only come with greater frequency and intensity. The unrelenting impact of climate change affects every single solitary one of us. But too often, the brunt falls disproportionately on communities of color, exacerbating the need for environmental justice. Sorry, as a bug. Speaking of the environment. And my sister, Debbie Stabenow. God love you, Debbie. We worked so closely together for so long.
What are you two doing? What are you doing?
I know.
By harassing the full potential of those who are harassing, we're going to have to change things. In addition to money we put into the COVID project, which is that COVID is, I know you all know, but a lot of people may not know what COVID is. Whoa. Whoa, hang on a second. Whoa.
Oh, what time does it say? Oh yeah, you're an idiot o'clock.
Folks, let me now turn to today's event.
I want to thank Bernie for the introduction and for being part of the best auto workers in the world. Thank you, Ray Curry, president of UAW. If you're here, Ray, I was in with you. It's good to see you, pal. And I also want to thank the leaders of the big three companies for being here today. Mary Barry, she General Motors. I want to tell you, I think she's one of the reasons we're here today. We had a long discussion on a Zoom call with a bunch of labor leaders and other major business leaders, and she made a commitment, and she's keeping it. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Jim Farley of Ford. And by the way, my dad was in the automobile business. He sold Fords for a while, but mostly General Motors products. But you see that sucker over there? 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds. It's all electric. I tell you what, and I want to say publicly, I have a commitment from Mary when they make the first electric Corvette, I get to drive it. Right, Mary?
So y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband.
You think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding. And my entire Secret Service detail went, oh my God, let's go. What you all know, but most people don't know, unlike the African American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community. Thank you, Boris. And I want to thank that fellow down under. Thank you very much, pal. Appreciate it, Mr. Prime Minister. I want to thank that fellow down under. Thank you very much, pal. Appreciate it, Mr. Prime Minister.
I want to thank that fellow down under. Thank you very much, pal. Appreciate it, Mr. Prime Minister. You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump.
Watch out for the cicadas. I just got one. It got me. No, I haven't taken a test. Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man. That's like saying you, before you got in this program, if you take a test where you're taking cocaine or not, what do you think, huh? Are you a junkie? The more people we get vaccinated, the life-saving vaccines, we work with cities and states to create driving stronger growth, not just this year. If you're thinking that the side effects from the shot are worse than the COVID, or that you can't just take a chance, you're just dead wrong. You know, some people have questions about how quickly the vaccines were developed. They say we're going to launch a national vaccination tour. The vaccines are effective.
And now, I introduce to you President Joe Biden.
Well, thank you. Please, if you have a seat, sit down. And I got to make one check.
Looking at child porn, that's his job.
No. He's our child porn scout. Hey, girls. What's your name? Caitlin? Yeah. You're pretty sexy, Caitlin. Thank you. I won't finger your little sister over that.
Speaking of, do you guys have any weed on you? I'm stressing out.
No.
You're going to ask me 1,000 different questions, and they're all legit. I'm telling you, we're going to get this done. It doesn't matter when. It doesn't matter whether it's in 6 minutes, 6 days, or 6 weeks. We're going to get it done.
Why has it been so challenging to unite your party, Mr. President? Why has it been so challenging to unite the party? Why is the party united?
Are you serious?
Why is the party united?
50-50? Come on, man. Unite the party, 50-50. I got it.
How big is this bill going to be?
You got to get run for office someday, man.
That you are running for re-election?
Look, I don't know where you guys come from, man. I've never been able to travel. I'm a great respecter of fate. I've never been able to plan 3.5 years ahead for certain.
And if you do run, will Vice President Harris be on your ticket?
I would fully expect that to be the case. She's doing a great job. She's a great partner. She's a great partner.
And do you believe you'll be running against former President Trump?
Oh, come on. I don't even think about it. I have no idea. I have no idea whether there'll be a Republican Party. Do you? I know you don't have to answer my question, but I mean, do you?
Joe Biden, wake up. 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 Joe Biden.
He was the gift of a Dutch diplomat, Van Lennep, who had been well received in Boston, and when he went back to Smyrna, he decided to send a mummy to Boston as a gift in gratitude to raise money for the hospital.
You're going to see more change in the next 10 years than we've seen in the last 50 because of the incredible change in science and technology. You're going to see us traveling commercially in the next 20 years at 15,000 miles an hour. Subsonic speeds, supersonic speed. I mean, the things that are going to change. $15,000. I want to welcome all the cabinet members and honored guests joining us today, including the father of our Secretary of State, whose birthday is today. Happy birthday. Thank you for your service to our country. And I just want to tell you, I know you're a little younger than I am, but I've adopted the attitude of the great Negro at the time, pitcher in the Negro Leagues, went on to become a great pitcher in the pros, into the Major League Baseball after Jackie Robinson.
I can tell you personal attacks that has been going on for more than 2-3 months. Abuses or racist comments, giving me names, black or Negro. I'm proud of being black or proud of being Negro because that Negro is black, black is black, and I'm proud. I don't care, to be honest. I don't give a damn because it's personally targeted to me. 3 months in the same situation. But since I don't have any inferiority complex when I'm personally affected or attacked by racial slurs, I don't care because I'm a very proud black person or Negro. I don't care being called even Negro. I am. I tolerated 3 months and I can tolerate 3 years, 30 years, 300 years. No problem if it's personal, if it's targeted to TEDROS. I don't care because I'm a very proud black person or Negro. I don't care being called even Negro. I am.
Well, my mask.
Oh, boy.
I need a mask outside. Guess I don't. This is me. Yeah, we're right here.
guys must be sleeping.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for your time.
Mr. President,
Thank you.
Mr. President, whatever
Spoken with
happened
the
to your
King of
promise
Saudi
from
Arabia?
7 weeks ago that if Democrats flipped the Senate, the checks were going out the door?
Come on, Peter, thank you. Let's go, guys. Thank you. Go. Come on, guys. We're going.
My mask.
Come on, guys. Guys, let's go. Go, go. Thank you, guys. Come on.
Mr. President.
Let's go, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so
President.
much. Juicy, let's go. Come on, guys. The door's right there.
This is the head on.
Juicy, come on. I see you. I see you tempted. I see you. Let's go.
Yeah.
Pardon me? Are you ready for the press conference tomorrow?
Ready for the press conference tomorrow, sir.
The press conference.
Can you order equal pay for the soccer team, sir?
Pardon me?
Can you order equal pay for that soccer team, sir?
If I could, it'd been done a long time ago. It would have been done in 2015.
Thank you.
Janet, thanks for accepting. Appreciate it. I think they're going to clean this off for us here. Excuse me, Janet. Mask up. No, I put it in my book. Always talking about masks.
Looking for my mask. I'm in trouble.
Right now, sir?
Yeah.
With the most recent hack by the Russians, would you say that this means
We're not
that...
sure it's the Russians.
Okay, with
I
this most...
I got a brief as I was on the plane. That's why I was late getting off the plane. I got a brief and.
Great.
All right.
Would you like your receipt? Do you know who it might be, sir?
I'll be in better shape to talk to you about it.
And you want to check my shape on, let's do push-ups together here, man. Let's run. Let's do whatever you want to do.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'll tell you what they sent me, okay? The idea, first of all, we're not sure who it is for certain, number one. And what I did, I directed the full resources of the government to assist in a response if we determine. What else you need?
Oh, nothing. You're all set.
Okay. And the fact is that I directed the intelligence community to give me a deep dive on what's happened, and I'll know better tomorrow. And if it is either with the knowledge of and or consequence of Russia then told Putin we will respond. And
You didn't tell him already, sir?
no, I haven't called because we're not certain. The initial thinking was it was not the Russian government, but we're not sure yet. So.
Wow.